So I just started recording this lesson, children, and then I started chatting as I do, and then I was like, hang on, it's not recording. And then I realized actually I hadn't pressed the record button, I'd pressed the reactions button on the Zoom thing. Just chatting to myself. So now we are recording because I definitely see the recording side. So I'll begin. Welcome. It's another week of wonderful home learning. And today we're doing grammar, Monday grammar, with Mrs Warburton, and we're going to be learning, I'm still giggling to myself. Anyway, we're going to be learning about suffixes, the ed, past tense suffix, ed. Looking confused. Let me make it clearer if I share my screen. Share. From the beginning. Okay, can you see that? Let's go from the beginning. Here we go. Move me over here. That's the way. So today, children, a new week, a new grammar focus. And this week, we're going to be looking at the suffix ed at the end of words to make things into the past tense. We're looking at past tense. So our aims for the lesson are that we can add an ed to the two words to make the new word. Now, for this to be successful, there's a few things we've got to think about. First of all, we're going to sort out ed words into their different sounds. Then we're going to be using sentences. We're going to say sentences that have the ed words in. And then we're going to work out when it is that you put in this ed suffix at the end of the words. So plenty for us to be getting on with. So let's start by reading these words together. There's a few slides I'm going to go through here. Two words will come up on the slides. We're going to read both of them and try and hear the difference between the two words. Okay, here we go. Read them out with me. Lick, licked, lick and licked. Can you hear the difference? Lick, licked. And can you see the ed suffix at the end? What has been added to the second word? The ed suffix. How do we say the sound? Licked. Next one. Here's the two words. Read them out with me. Work, worked, work and worked. What's been added to the second word? That's right, the ed suffix. And what does it sound like? Worked, worked. You say it. Can you hear what that suffix sounds like? Let's move on. Ooh. Oh, I'd love to sit in front of a big open fire now. It's cold outside. Okay, let's read these two words together. See if we can work out what's been added to the second word. And what does it sound like? Are we ready? Let's read them. Burn and burned. Burn and burned. Well, it's got the ed suffix again. That bit's not rocket science, but can you hear the sound? Burned. Burned. You say. Here we go. Some more. We've got yell and yelled. You say it. That's right. Can you see that ed suffix? Yeah, we can. And can you hear the sound that it makes? Yelled, yelled. Let's try these two. Say it together. Start and started. Did you hear that sound? Started, started. You say it. Oh, that sounds slightly different to the other ones. Can you see the ed suffix at the end? Give it a little point, wiggle that pointy finger. I can see it just there. Boom. And can you hear the sound? Start id. Id. Okay, interesting. Next one. This will all become clearer in a moment. Ooh, it's an owl scene, a nighttime owl scene, right? And this owl looks like it's out on a hunt. What did it do? It hunted. Can you see the ed suffix there in the second word? Yeah, we can. It's right there. Can you hear the sound that it makes? Hunt and hunted. Say the word hunted. Id. Can you hear it? Well done. So there were lots of words there that all had the ed suffix at the end of them. It says here, we call the ed bit of the word the suffix. You've heard me say that a million times already this lesson. We've looked at some suffixes before, haven't we? Did you hear the way that those different ed sounds sounded? They weren't all the same, were they? Here is a table, and the table has the 3 different sounds that the ed suffix made. In this first column, the ed suffix has a t sound. In the middle column, a d sound. And the one at the end is the id sound. So we're going to play a quick game. Underneath there are 6 words. They're the words, pretty much all the words that we just looked at. Before I click on the word, you have to shout out which column you think it's going to go into. T, d, or id. Because all the ed suffixes look the same, but there are 3 different sounds that they make. A bit like phonics, isn't it? With the phonics families. They look the same, but they do have slight differences in the sound when you read the word. So let's try the first one together. I'm pointing at the word. We're all going to read it together. Say it now. Mixed. Right, what sound did we hear at the end of that? Mixed. Either say it out loud or point on the screen at the column that you think this word is going to fly to. You ready? I'm going to click on it. You made a guess. Mixed. Well done. Did you hear? Mixed has a bit of a t sound at the end. I mixed the ingredients together. Mixed. Okay, now you've got the game. Right, over to you. Let's do the next one. Can you see me, my mouse wiggling over the word? Read the word out to yourself. Read it in your head first. Okay, say it out loud. Let's all say it together. Are we ready? Yelled. Yelled. Okay, point to the column you think it's going to go in, or say the sound of the column you think it's going to go in. Ready, steady. Did you get it? Yelled. Yelled. Can you hear the d sound at the end? Mixed. Yelled. They've got different sounds, haven't they, at the end? Okay, next one. Say the word in your head. Say it out loud. Started. Let's all say it together. Started. What sound could you hear at the end of that word? Point to the column you think it's going to go to. Are you going to be right? Yay! It has the id sound at the end. Started. 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 I started to run a race. Started. So we've got 3 words there already in the table now. They all have the same ed suffix ending, but they all have different sounds. T, d, and id. We've got 3 more words to go. Pause me for a minute and see if you can work out where you think, read the words carefully and work out where you think they're going to go on the table. Pause me now. Welcome back. Did you work it out? 3 words. Those 3 words are hunted, burned, and licked. Hunted, burned, and licked. And you have to listen really carefully to the end of the word to work out which column it's going to go in. So we're going to start with hunted. Did you guess right? Ready? Hunted. Hunted. The owl hunted at night. Next one is burned. 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 It's got a D sound at the end. Can you hear it? Burned. You get it right? That means I think we're all got it that the word licked. Licked has a T sound at the end, doesn't it? Licked. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that right. Well, isn't that interesting? This suffix has 3 different sounds. We have touched on this. This slide says in the past. This little boy is wondering what's going on. It says what happens to the meaning of a word when ed is added. What happens to the meaning of it? Well, it shows that that action is happening in the past, not present tense, not future tense. It's called the past tense. It has already happened. So I would like you to pause me in a moment because you're going to have a go at the first activity of this lesson. This activity is called in the past, and your sheet looks like this top one here. Now you're going to add ed to the words to finish the sentence. You've got 3 there. And then question 2, it says you need to write your own sentence. Now it's given you a word you need to include in that sentence, but you need to add the ed suffix in there to make it past tense sentence. So for example, this first one on 2a, your word you've been given is clean. Now you need to make sure you're using the ed suffix at the end of that. So the word you're going to include in your sentence is cleaned. And maybe your sentence could be, I cleaned the table after dinner. Neatest handwriting, please. Make sure you're writing on the line and make sure you're doing cursive formation or joined. Pause me now, have a go. Welcome back. That was all right, wasn't it? That was good. Now we've got a game to play, everybody. Where's my cards? I've made cards for the game. I'm hoping we can all do it together. Now let me read what the instructions are. Here's my cards. Let's read the instructions so we all know what the game is about. It's called the Act It Out game. It says, shuffle the Act It Out word cards and lay them face down on the table. Now, we're all aware things are a bit different at the minute, and we're not all together, and we don't have a table in front of us because we're all on screens. Look, I'm on a screen, you can't see my table. So I've made some cards and I'm going to hold them up so you can see all my cards. Now take it in turns. Take turns to turn over a card. Don't show your partner. Now we also can't really take it in turns right now because it's just a little old me talking at the camera teaching you. So we're going to change the game a little bit. Here are our action cards. Behind this, and you're not going to see what they are, is an action. I'm going to choose a card. We'll do an example one. I'm going to choose a card. Please be a good one. Please be a good one. Okay. I'm going to choose a card like this one. Ooh. And I'm going to read it. I'm not going to show you what it is. And then I'm going to act out what the action is. And you have to try and guess. Oh, I've got something. Okay, this is. What did I do? What was my card? What did it say? Now remember, it's going to have an ed suffix at the end of that action. And I'll give you a clue. It's not stirred. So what else am I doing? Did you get it? It's, where's the camera there? Mixed. Hands up if you thought it was mixed. I was lucky I had a bowl with me then. That was a bit of luck. You get the game? Right, let's try another one. Put them all out like this so you can see all the cards. You have a go at choosing one. There you go. You want to choose one. Which one are you going to choose? Which one are you going to choose? Oh, what's that? You're going to choose this one over here. Okay, well done. Good choice. Oh, I wasn't meant to show you. Mrs Warburton. Okay, pretend you didn't see that. Right. What is my action? And if you did see it, you can do it along with me. If you didn't see it, you've got to guess it. What's the action? Did you get it? Remember, it's got to have an ed suffix on the end. The action was licked. Show me your licking. I licked my ice cream in the summer. Licked. Good. Last time. Last one. This one's going to be faultless. Right. Oh, right. Here you go, children. Choose a card. Any card you like. Span them all out. Choose a card. Choose a card. Choose a card. Which one are you going to go for? Which one's it going to be? What's that? That one just there. Good choice. Now I'm not going to show you this time. And then I can see what it says. You know what? This whole thing would be better if I stopped sharing. And you could see me even bigger. Right, this time, this is the final one. Guess what my action is? Hello! Is anybody there? What could it be? Hello! Is anybody there? What action could be behind my card? I'll give you a clue. It's not shouted. So if the action isn't shouted, what is that? Got it? Yelled. Can you see the ed suffix on all of those actions I just did? Licked, yelled, and mixed. Maybe you could have a go at home with your grown-ups or siblings and make your own action cards with ed suffixes at the end. And then you really could have a go at taking it in turns to choose a card, acting out. Look, we've got pulled, started, worked, asked, reached. This is testing one. There we go, reached. There's all sorts of words you can put on your cards. Yelled, we've done those ones, Mrs Warburton. What's this one here behind this finger? Oh, there we go. Watched. I watched TV at night. Painted. Love painting. Anyway, so you could have a go at doing the action game at home yourself. It might be even funner because you'll actually have someone with you and you won't be looking at a screen. Let's move on. There we go. Done that bit. Oh, come on. So when do we need the ed suffix? Oh, this is quiz time, is it? Well, maybe before we go on to this, I tell you what, children, before we get into that, before we dive into that, now that we've finished our game, I want you to have a go, please, at your application activity. So you have one more sheet. You can pause me in a moment. You have one more sheet that you can look at, which looks a bit like this. You see? And it says application activity at the top. You're making ED words here. So we've just read through a few and acted a few out, haven't we? And there's some pictures to help you. Question 1 has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different words. You need to add the ED suffix at the end. So rewrite it out, please, with the ED suffix. And then the challenge is below. Sort the words into the columns by their end sounds. So listen really carefully when you read that new word you've created out. And if it has the T sound, you're going to put it in this column. If it has the T sound, D sound, you're going to put it in the middle column. And if it's the ID sound, I want you to put it at the end, okay? So pause me now and have a go at that activity. And welcome back. Here we go. Right, let's finish up then, everybody. You've had a good crack at this. Everybody should know the answer to this. It says, your first question says, can you remember why we use the ED at the end of a word? What is the point in that ED? Can you remember? That's right. Well done, everybody, to show something has happened in the past. Your work is in past tense when you use the ED suffix. So, read this sentence and what isn't quite right with it. The sentence says, read it with me. Ed, look at the book. Ed, look at the book. What is wrong with it? Pardon, I can't hear you. What's wrong with that sentence? Now we could change, that's right, that verb word to look was wrong, wasn't it? It didn't make sense. You can change the sentence. So it says Ed looks at the book. Now, if the sentence says Ed looks at the book, then that's what's happening right now. And if we change that to an ED suffix at the end, Ed looked at the book, and you can see that sort of sentence that's written there, then we know that that action has already happened. It's in the past tense. So there are two ways you could have changed that sentence to something that's happening now or something that's happening in the past. Right. When do we need ED? Can you use the ED to show that these sentences have happened in the past and say them out loud? If you've got no one in the room with you, it doesn't matter. You can say them out loud to yourself, or if you do have somebody in the room to you, you can say them to a partner or someone that's in the room to you. So say, can you use the ED to show that these have happened in the past? Are you ready for your first one? Here we go. This girl is being a meanie bottom. This is Steph. And the sentence says, Steph, push Sam over. Now I want you to say it out loud so that it's in the past tense. Off you go. Well done. Steph pushed Sam over. That's not very kind. Here comes the next one. This helpful lady is doing some helpful jobs. Right, her sentence says, wash the car. I want you to say it out loud in the past tense, please, children. Off you go. Well done. D washed the car. D washed the car. Steph pushed Sam over. Both of those things happened in the past. Right. Well done, everybody. Done that. We're done. Would you, for me, hang on, stop share. Hi. Would you, for me, take a picture of the work that you've done today, put it on Seesaw so we can see the wonderful stuff you've done and celebrate your hard work. If you've got any questions about the lesson, or you're having any problems, let us know on Seesaw. We're here to help. So make sure you let us know if you're having any trouble with it, so we can support you. And I hope that that was all right. And I will see you tomorrow for another lesson. Or maybe I'll see you for maths next. Bye, everyone. Well done for using your ED suffix. Bye.